welcome back to another Bookstagram to Booktube book challenge. So this month is brain cancer awareness, and this was brought out from the book Blondie, and she's promoting hashtag Gray for May, just to bring some more awareness to the cause. My aunt died from brain cancer back in 2014, so I do feel like it hits me a little bit. She had a lot of other things going on, but that was kind of the nail in the coffin, unfortunately. That was a bad pun. Oh my god, that was terrible. But that's really what ended up getting her in the end. So figured it would be a fun challenge to participate in, just to spread awareness and share some books. So I have a stack of 6 books that are gray. Like I said, Gray for May. I've read all of them except 2. So basically this is kind of like a recommendations video, but also get me to read the other 2 books that I haven't read. I had a bunch of other great books too that I could have chose from, but these were just some of the ones that I managed to pick up and grab. So the first one is The Death of Mrs Westaway by Ruth Ware. I actually had this one and Turn of the Key in my pile, but then I was like, we only need one Ruth Ware right now, because the other one would be too overwhelming. But yeah, this is The Death of Mrs Westaway. This is actually my favorite of the 2. This one came out not last summer, but the summer before that. And I know that this one has had a lot of misses. A lot of people don't love this one, but for me, it was very atmospheric and eerie and creepy, and I was all here for it. It's about a woman, and she is like a tarot card reader. She's a psychic, and she is in a lot of debt. And she's got some debt people that are kind of after her, like, you give us our money or we're gonna hurt you. And she ends up discovering in her mailbox like a letter claiming that she needs to come to this like will reading for this relative of hers, but it's really not her relative. But she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go and pretend to be this relative so that way maybe I can get some money and I can finally pay these goons off. So she decides to go, and it takes place in this really like eerie mansion, and I really loved it. I was here for it. So yeah, this is obviously gray, so this was in my pile. Let's stick it behind me. And then we've got Big Little Lies by Elaine Moriarty. This one I read what feels like a million years ago, and I know that it's obviously got all the rage now because of the fact that it is a show on Hulu. I watched the first season, but I never watched the second season because it's not based on a book, so I don't know where, like, I know where they got the content. I know Elaine Moriarty helped them with that, but like, I want a book. I don't want a next like part of a series without being able to read it first. But this one is kind of all these rich mommies down in Australia. They are at a party and there is a tragic accident, and we are trying to figure out what happened to cause this accident. So we like flash back to then follow the lives of these women to figure out what happened. I really loved the book. I loved the first season of the show. Maybe I'll read the second one. Watch the second season, but I feel like you can't not have this in your pile. I love Elaine Moriarty. I want her next book to come out like ASAP. Then we've got The Dazzling Heights by Katharine McGee. This is the sequel to The 1000th Floor. This is a YA trilogy that I love. It's basically drama set in the future where we are living in these towers, and basically where you live in this tower really kind of dictates your life. If you're on the bottom, you're definitely poorer in class, and if you live near the top, then you are obviously very well off and very high in the hierarchy of this world. We know that there, again, another thing where like there's a tragic thing that happens in the beginning, and then we kind of flash back to follow what's happening and how we got to that point, and then the sequels take place after that big happening. These take place like after the big event happens, but I found them very guilty pleasure reads. I really enjoyed them. I like the idea of it being set in the future and the technology that was available to these characters. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fluff, but I like that it's like fluff with drama, but also kind of a thrillery element going on as well. I think they're fun. I like them a lot. You'll also know her from writing American Royals. So if you like American Royals, you definitely want to go check out the 1004 trilogy. Then we are on one that I have not read, and that is Time After Time by Lisa Grunwald. This is a time-traveling novel that is kind of like historical fiction, because obviously they travel through time. I'm not 100% sure what it's about. Oh, maybe this isn't time travel. I thought this was time travel, but now I don't know if it is. A magical love story inspired by the legend of a woman who vanished from the Grand Central Terminal sweeps readers from the 1920s to World War II and beyond. Starts in 1937. I really thought this was time travel. Clearly, I have no idea. But Ariel Lawton, who wrote The Wife, the Maid, and the Mistress, has a quote on here, so it must be good. I don't know. If you've read this, please let me know, because now I feel stupid. I really thought this was a time travel book, and now I have no idea if that's true. That's fun. Then we got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is another YA novel, but it's a mystery, kind of suspenseful thriller story. And we are following Pip, and there was a murder that took place in her hometown years prior. Basically, everybody knows who did it. So they're basically an open and closed case. But Pip feels like there's more to it, so she spent her senior project looking into this murder because she feels like something else happened, and so she makes her project all about it. I really like this book. It has text messages, it's got emails, it's got parts of her project, it's got documentation. It was a really fun book to read and follow, and I know that for me, YA mystery thrillers normally fall pretty flat when it comes to trying to trick you or have a twist. Normally the twists are really lame or the characters are really lame. And to me, this one really shined in this genre in the YA world. I feel like the YA world is finally starting to understand what we want when it comes to a mystery thriller. There is a sequel. It just came out in the UK. I have no idea when it's coming out in the US, but I am like dying for it. I think it's going to be like a 4-book series, and I'm really curious how that's going to happen. I'm assuming Pip must try to solve more mysteries. That would be my only guess, because this one is done by the end. But I'm excited to see more from this author. And the last one is, again, another book that I have not read, but I feel like I've been seeing everywhere, and that is Nearly Normal Family by M.T. Edverson. This is about a girl who is kind of being, she's being tried for killing some man that's older than her, I believe. And then it's kind of her family trying to figure out how to deal with this. Like, do they support her? Do they stand by her, or do they kind of step away because now she's like a murderer? Like, what do they do? I haven't heard too much. I've seen, like I said, I've seen a lot of people haul it, but I haven't seen a ton of people read it. So I'm curious to see what I will eventually think of this one. So if you've read this one, let me know your thoughts without spoiling me. So yeah, that is my Gray for May stack. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now this is probably like my 3rd or 4th Bookstagram to Booktube challenge. So please let me know if you're liking these down below so I can still continue making them if you like them. If you don't like them, let me know. I'll stop. But I thought it was a fun, unique twist to bring to Booktube. So please let me know all your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everybody.